Ladies and gentlemen, AEW fans, I'm here and I'm going to keep it quick today. Not a full AEW Dynamite review, but we are going to talk about Chris Jericho forming a new stable, Jeff Hardy coming back, and Scorpio Sky winning the TNT title. If you're a fan of wrestling, hit that like button on this video. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. We started Dynamite off. And yeah, Chris Jericho was out there and we were ready to rock. He wanted Eddie Kingston out there. He wanted to apologize and shake his hand. We got Eddie Kingston out there. And what went down was we had a handshake, but it wasn't for long. How about Eddie Kingston shutting down those fans, those what chants on the side? No, Steve Austin ain't here. That was pretty funny to me. But nevertheless, 2.0 came down. The beatdown was on. Here came out Santana and Ortiz. And surprise, surprise, we got Chris Jericho beating down Santana and Ortiz. And you know what? Jericho comes down. He joins in on the beatdown. And you know what? We have Jericho saying that this is the Jericho Appreciation Society. I think that name sucks for a stable, but that's neither here nor there. Santana and Ortiz are free. God, I wanted to pull out my hair when they groveled back to Jericho. They shook his hand. I'm like, oh man, we gonna do this again with Santana and Ortiz? Nevertheless, they are free from the inner circle. The inner circle is no more. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that down in the comments. But nevertheless, I'm glad that Santana and Ortiz are free. Jericho has a new stable. I hate the name, but you know what? We gotta let it play out. I hate this phrase. We gotta let it play out, and we have to see where it goes. Pretty sure we're gonna set up a nice 6-man tag, and that should be interesting. 2.0, they get the rub of being in the ring with Jericho. I just hope that it puts them over, and I hope that this is just not a thing to where Jericho gets elevated and nobody else does, because right now all we have to go on is that it's the Jericho Appreciation Society. Nevertheless, we'll see how it plays out. And you know what? Santana and Ortiz, it's time, man. It's time to put the tag titles on these guys. Like, enough. They've waited for years, literal years, and it's time to go with these guys. We'll see where they go with them. Nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, we had the AHFO emergency meeting, and you know what? I'm sitting here, and the only thing I want to see is Private Party free. Just like Santana and Ortiz are free, I was like, free Private Party. And they turn on Matt Hardy. The only thing I didn't like out of all of this is that Private Party are still heels. They are too flamboyant. They are too flashy to be heels for me. They thrived as faces for me because the fans absolutely love these guys. They love them. And I do not like them as heels. I don't like Andrade being a manager. Let everybody should have went off and done their own thing. That's just me. But nevertheless, we got Sting, we got Darby, and here came Jeff Hardy. The crowd exploded. And the first thing I was thinking was, not tweeted it out. You can go to my timeline. I said, how the hell did they get the Hardy Boys theme? And it was further explained to me that the Hardy Boys theme is not a WWE thing. So that's how they actually got it. You learn something new every day, they say. Nevertheless, the funniest thing to happen out of all this, Jeff Hardy, he did the Rhea Ripley. He hit his dance. Matt Hardy is getting choked out for life. And Jeff Hardy's like, well, let me look at the crowd. The crowd into it, let me hit my dance right fast. Bop, 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 bop. Hit his dance with the one hand, the two hands. He had to hit his little dance before he came out there and made the save. Jeff Hardy makes the save. And you know what? We have a stare down with the Hardy brothers. We have a stare down with Darby and Sting. And I've always said that Darby is the new age Jeff Hardy. That's just me. So I find that dynamic very interesting. Jeff is here. About the only thing that I don't like is the fact that, you know what, we got Jeff, we got Matt, yay for that, but there are already a lot of tag teams sitting on the side waiting for their shot. I just talked about Santana and Ortiz and how, you know what, it's their time. FTR wants their shot, and they're going to eventually want their shot, and like, it is a bunch of tag teams. So somebody's going to be off on the side. It's only 3 hours of television. So like that dynamic, I've always found it interesting when we have all these new signings. How is Tony Khan gonna navigate that? How are they gonna make this happen? It's interesting. We'll see how it plays out. Moving on to the final topic of the day: Scorpio Sky versus Sami Gabara. And this was a very fun match. These guys have tremendous chemistry. But Sami Gabara, I think he did a 630 through the table. That brought out Ty Conti, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely. He did a 630 through the table. And I'm like, that was the spot to which they felt the need to bring Ty Conti out for. And I'm like, Sami Gabara has done much crazier things besides a 630 through a table. But nevertheless, we get down to the end of the match, and I see the spot setting up, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be one of those near falls, so I'm not going to even take it seriously. And surprise, surprise, Scorpio Sky wins the TNT title, ladies and gentlemen. When I tell y'all, I was shocked. Like, it's wrestling. There's nothing like it. Like, I watch all kind of sports, basketball, football, whatever. When wrestling legitimately surprises you, there's nothing like it. When I say nothing, I mean nothing. I did not see that Scorpio Sky title win coming from a mile away. It reminds me of Brock Lesnar, Undertaker. Stick with me. When he broke the streak at WrestleMania. When he hit that, I think it was the F5 on Undertaker, I was like, okay, it's going to be a near fall. I'm not even taking it seriously. And when that 3 count went down, I was like, oh my God, Brock Lesnar just won the match. And it was much like that with Scorpio Sky. I said, oh my God, Scorpio Sky just won the match. And it's about doing time. It is about time. Because Scorpio Sky should have been the TNT champion. A brother winning the singles championship, I absolutely love it. And he deserves it. Not just because he's not because he's a brother, but he earned his way to that TNT championship. Now it sucks for Sami Gabara because it feels like he's had 2 TNT championship reigns cut short. The other one was with Cody Rhodes, and it's like, why did you have Cody Rhodes win that match? Nevertheless, he gets it back, and this one feels cut short as well. But nevertheless, Scorpio Sky will make for an awesome TNT champion. And there's a lot of people out there now. He has to face Wardlow next week. A lot of people are saying that, you know what, Scorpio Sky, he's just going to be the sacrificial lamb to Wardlow next week. And that would be absolutely embarrassing if they do that. If they set Scorpio Sky up like that, I would be through the roof pissed, because you cannot have that man have his moment and then lose the championship next week. Like, MJF is out there. So the smart play is to have Scorpio Sky have his run and to have MJF come down and cost Wardlow the match next week. So that's what needs to happen. We'll see what does happen next week. Paige Van Sant signed her AEW contract. That was kind of out of nowhere, but nevertheless, looks like we're getting a Ty Conti versus Paige Van Sant feud. You know what? If she can go in the ring, if she's taking it seriously, then you know what? I'm all for it. Nevertheless, Scorpio Sky gets the win, and we'll see Scorpio Sky versus Wardlow next week. Let me know what you thought about anything AEW Dynamite overall. Scorpio Sky winning the whole show. Let me know what you think either down in the comments on YouTube or on Twitter at Corey B Elite or at Too Sweet P O.